What is up, Heffas and friends? Welcome to another episode of Java and Journeys with Jillian. If you're new here to this channel, how are you doing? My name is Jillian and welcome to another caffeinated adventure. This time, Heffas, we find ourselves here at the Festival of the Arts at EPCOT. So what are we gonna do this visit? Y'all, you know how we like to do things when we are at Disney. We're going to try the food. We're gonna get into the treats. We're gonna get into all those unique bites that they have here, especially for the festival. We're also gonna check out some of the artwork as well as get into the merch because you know that we like to always leave Disney with our wallets weeping, but I'm gonna do my best to keep my wallet intact, Heffas. So, also, I want to shout out all my Heffas that have been subscribing and showing some love. Y'all, Heffa Nation is over 20,000 deep. However, I need for you to drop down in the comments and show your girls some love. So let me know where you're tuning in from. And also to my Heffas that comment about what is something you find really interesting that you see during the Festival of the Arts. Baby, it could be the merch. Comment about the food. Comment about anything interesting that you see, and I am going to shout you out because you know we love to cheers here at Java and Journey. So I'm going to give a special cheers to all my Heffas that engage with me in the comments, and you can catch that at the end of the next video. So with that being said, Heffa Nation, let's go ahead and get started. And again, show your girl some love. Don't let these mouse ears fool you. You know I'll cut you with love. Let's go ahead and get on this journey. Heffas, how are you all feeling? How are you doing? Speaking of engaging with your girl in the comments, how cold is it where you are living right now? If you are living in the US, especially in the Northeast, in the Midwest, in the Pacific Northwest, my heart goes out to you. If you are in any other part of the world where, especially during the winter season, you are dealing with like very frigid temperatures, try to stay warm out there, Heffas. I know this looks so crazy, y'all, to be in Orlando dressed like this. Peep out the ears. Y'all, look at that. She got her fleece, mouse ears on. You can't tell her nothing. But y'all, I have my big infinity scarf on. I have my big coat that I used to wear all the time when I lived in the Pacific Northwest, in Seattle more specifically. Go Hawks. Y'all, by the time this video drops, I think the Super Bowl may have already passed. So y'all know I'm rooting for the Seahawks. Who are you rooting for? If it's not the Seahawks, then don't even say nothing. It's like, nah, girl, let me love my team. Who's even the other team that's in it? Oh, the Patriots. See, y'all, okay, let me tell you all something real quick. 2 seconds before we get into the weather. Y'all, I lived in Seattle when Seattle lost against the Patriots. I think that was back in like 2014. When I tell you that was so devastating, y'all, the city was crying. The city was weeping. What an embarrassing loss. And I miss me, the Legion of Boom. I miss me, Russell Wilson. Like, Russ, that is like my third, fourth husband. Okay, my co-producer's not paying attention, so that's good. He doesn't know that I have, you know, different hoes and different area codes. He walks away from me. He's like, oh, is that the case? Listen, y'all, always have a backup plan. You didn't hear that from me, though. That's just what I hear. But y'all, that was such a devastating loss. So I am sending good vibes to my Seattle Seahawks that they are going to be successful, that it will not be a close game, that they are just going to blow out the Patriots. And I even hate to admit this, but Belichick is not there. Brady isn't there. Hopefully we'll be okay. And as we're also walking, y'all, we have the creation shop, and I want to get into the merch, but we're actually going to save the merch, my friends, until toward the end of the video, only because while we still have some light out, you know, I want to give you all the views. And y'all, I'm trying to stay bundled up and just enjoy the little bit of sun that we have right now. So circling back to the weather, I hope you are staying warm out there because it has been cold in Florida, y'all. And as I mentioned in my videos, I'm not talking about, you know, there are some Floridians that like, if it drops beneath 70, it's like, for lack of a better comparison, some Floridians just have a complete meltdown and turn into little snowflakes because they can't handle cooler temperatures. Y'all know it has been in the 30s, it's been in the 40s, and then because of the wind chill, it has actually felt a lot colder than what it actually is. So to have to be bundled up like this is actually, it's like so insane and so unusual for Florida. So wherever you're at, whether you're in the US or in other parts of the world, because I know Heffa Nation is international and I love it, stay warm and stay safe out there. And sis, we'll get through this. We'll get through this rough winter season together. Our first food adventure of the night is over by Communicore Hall. We are at Opening Bites at Heffas. We are going to get into this soft shell slider, and it has green papaya slaw, mango ketchup, and a sweet roll. And we got some good music playing over at the Encanto stage. I love me some Selena, baby. We have my co-producer right there grabbing us our bites. And let me see if I can get you all up close view of what this is supposed to look like. So here's a visual, y'all. We're going to skip the Enchanted Rose, which is like a chocolate mousse rose, because baby, I'm saving my calories for this slider. Baby, look at this soft shell crab slider. She's looking just like we fished her right from under the sea. Y'all, try not to lean too far into the Caribbean accent because I don't want my Caribbean heifers to come for me. But this is looking really good. And we have that mango papaya slaw at the bottom. So let's go ahead and get into this, heifers. Now, baby, don't worry. When soft shell crabs are deep fried, you can eat the whole thing. So don't be scared, heifers. Don't be scared. Oh yeah. That is a nice crispy bite. Good flavor. What do you think? You know, it's solid. I think it's a good way to start the Festival of the Arts. I'm not disappointed. Let's take one more bite. Let me show you all the inside, what that's given. So look at that, y'all. She is so crispy. Now I'll tell you all, the slider, a little fishy tasting. So not the freshest crab. So baby, she's been plucked out of the sea for a while now, but still good flavor. So Heffas, you know how we like to rate things out of 5. I'm going to keep it 100 with you because, as I told you, Disney can catch these hands. They can get it. So we're not going to be fake over here. Out of 5 Heffas, I probably would give that like a 2.5. You agree? Yeah. Co-producer's nodding. He keeps me in check. Not bad. But let's go ahead and get into more bites. And my friends, as I mentioned at the top of this video, what's great about the Festival of the Arts is, of course, it's a celebration of the arts in all its forms, whether it's singing, as they'll have some Broadway performances here, or as well as visual arts, sculptures. So this is a good example of that, Heffa. So as we're walking around, I'm definitely going to show you all some of the artwork. And as I said, drop down in the comments, hit that thumbs up, especially if you're seeing things that you're like, okay, if the coin was there, I would get it. Because y'all, I'm not going to hold you. The artwork is pretty expensive. Now they do have some prints of some of these depending on what the artist has available. And then of course, like what are things that Disney has actually had printed. So they have different options at different price points. But you see here, the artist, I mean, has the paintbrushes and everything, baby. But these are so pretty. And I've often wondered what it is like to buy art at the Festival of the Arts and put one of these babies in your house. Like, I love this Scrooge McDuck. Shout out, if you're someone who loved DuckTales, let me know. Who did you love, Huey, Dewey, or Louie? But this is so interesting, Heffas. This is like, if you look at the art, it's kind of like a 3D, like it pops out at you. This is really cool. And this is like not my first time being at Festival of Arts. This is probably, I did a live stream. So if you missed that live stream, this is like a couple of weeks ago. Heffas, check that out. Yes, Mickey, this is my vibe right here. Mickey knows what's up. But I actually did not see any of this. So I love this. All right, Heffas, let's go ahead and keep it moving to our next food stand. And y'all, check this out too. This is really cool. So again, mix of sculptures, mix of drawings, mix of paintings. This is very neat. And then if you look over here, you see the base of the tables. This is so cool. And they had this artist here last year as well. I just think this is so neat. Yes, Goofy. This is how I'm used to Florida weather being, y'all. Actually a little bit more miserable than this. Complete opposite feeling right now. This is so neat. Little Fantasia action going on. And again, more of our favorite Winnie the Pooh characters and Pooh himself. And then more art. So this is what I appreciate about coming out to the Festival of the Arts, because you see so many interpretations and designs of our favorite Disney characters and even of the parks and all things that we love Disney. Friends, we are now over at the Craftsman's courtyard. And baby, you already know that I'm gonna try this beef Wellington because we're gonna see if it's Gordon Ramsay approved. Oh, and let me correct myself, inspired beef Wellington, because Disney's like, listen, you're not about to have Gordon come check me over here. And we're also going to fill out our little California vibes by getting into these PEI mussels and Heffas. What is Java and Journeys without a little bit of Java? So you already know what's up. I love me some old fashioned. So the fact that it is combined with coffee, yes ma'am. And I feel like $11 is fairly reasonable for a coffee cocktail at Disney. So let's go ahead and get into it. And this stand, just so you know, is located over by the Journey to Imagination ride. And luckily, the sun is setting, y'all, so it is starting to get a little bit chillier, but there's like no line right here, which is really nice, because those of you all who have come out for a lot of the EPCOT festivals, sometimes the lines, you never know, they could be pretty lengthy, but I find that oftentimes they go by pretty quickly. And y'all, check out those inspired beef Wellingtons over here as we have the preparation going on right now, and we're going to actually pick up our mussels from this area, which I cannot wait. Now, while we are waiting for our mussels, let's go ahead and get into our coffee old fashioned. She is looking so good, and a little less coffee and a little bit more old fashioned. But listen, baby, as long as it tastes good, then we're gonna be okay over here. Cheers, Heffas. Thank you for joining me on another caffeinated culinary adventure. She is good, y'all. Okay, Disney. I see you. Y'all made this just for me, and I love you for that. Y'all, this is so good. And I was a little bit afraid if it was going to be too strong, or if it was going to taste bitter, if maybe like the coffee flavor was going to taste like artificial or whatever. But y'all, this is perfect. It's not overly sweet. You taste the old fashioned, but you also get that Java kick on the back end. It's smooth. It goes down really nice. You have a little bit of that orange twist. Okay, y'all, now I just need to get some muscle action going on right here, and we see that they're preparing it as we speak. All right, Heffas, here is our inspired beef welly over here. I actually like the fact that there's a little bit of pink in the center, so that's nice. So hopefully our steak is not overcooked, but we see the gravy on top. This is looking really good. I'm going to go ahead and show you all the mussels. And babes, look at how good these mussels are looking. Seasoned, glistening. I cannot wait to get into this. And of course, we have our little bread toasted at the top. All right, Heffas, here's that bite of that beef welly. Let's get into it. You have. All right, so the steak is a little bit on the dry side. Deep mushroom flavor. I don't really love it though. That for me is probably going to be a 1.5. I don't know that I recommend that at all. Let me try these mussels and see. That will save the day. All right, Heffas, before we get into my thoughts on the mussels, we have actually made it over to Pop Eats, which is a popular stand. Why? Great question. Because they have their infamous grilled cheese and tomato soup, and you'll see here that it is served in a can. And y'all, we went ahead and actually decided to do the croque monsieur inspired grilled cheese. And so you see that has that Black Forest ham and the Gruyere, because why not, make things a little bougie? So we're gonna go ahead and get into that. And as we're walking, I'll share my thoughts on the mussels and the grilled cheese. And I have to give you a visual. So let's get into that, honey. So y'all, check out, here is the can. And actually, I don't think I got the tomato soup last year. But look at our buddy Figment. It says Pops. Oh, so cute. And then we have our croque monsieur here, which hopefully they'll be good, y'all. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, babes, let's go ahead and get into this because we don't want our food to get too cold. You all hear that crunch action? Just in case you missed it. Yeah, this is good. And check out the cheese, the layers, the sandwich is warm. Now, we're gonna dip this into the soup. Come on now. I keep telling y'all, don't play with me. You can't take me nowhere. Really, y'all, sandwich is the perfect vehicle for soup. Heffas, y'all saw how elegantly I was eating my sandwich. See, if you know how to eat your food just the right way, you can get all the mans coming to the yard, all your partners, okay? Just do like me. And if you don't, then you need to ask yourself why you ain't got no mans. That's why, because you don't know how to eat your food like me. Oh my God, Mark over here shaking his head. Y'all do know, it is so hard. First world problems, hear me out. But to all my content creators out there, especially those of you all that do a lot of the food content and you're walking around, whether it's like at a park like Disney or something similar, and you don't have access to like a table and you're trying to hold different things in your hand. I'm trying to like record, hold food. My co-producer is helping me out, y'all. We on the struggle bus, but it's all good. So let me go ahead while my co-producer is eating some of the sandwich and soup. Let's get into my thoughts. Let's backtrack a little bit and talk about the mussels. The mussels were definitely a lot better than the inspired beef Wellington. I didn't really care for the beef Wellington. The mussels were really good. I probably give the mussels a 3.5, and especially like the tomato sauce, like the juices that were in it, very delicious. And again, it just gave me the San Francisco, Southern California vibes. I really like that. Now, in terms of the croque monsieur and the tomato soup, I thought those were okay too. Like the sandwich is good. My co-producer is actually saying that he would just prefer the standard grilled cheese. Not that it's bad, it's just that, you know, that would have been just as fine. So I probably would give the grilled cheese sandwich like, I don't know, 2.8. And not because it's bad, y'all. I mean, it's a sandwich with cheese and ham. Like there's nothing exceptional really about it. It was good. The bread was crunchy. My co-producers actually felt like the edges were a bit too crunchy and made it difficult to eat a little bit. And y'all, the tomato soup was all right. The tomato soup, I'd probably give that like a 2.5. It was all right. There was nothing exceptionally special about it. And I will say, this is not Disney's fault, but because it's so cold out here, you really have to eat your food fast because it gets cold quickly. But the sandwich was warm, the soup was warm. It's just, you know, it's all right. So far of what we've had, the mussels are where it's at. And my friends, we just keep hitting the stops so quickly. So we are now over at Swirled Showcase, and we are going to get a freeze-dried cake pop. You will see the candies and stuff over there. So shout out in the comments if you are a fan of the freeze-dried Skittles. I do like freeze-dried Skittles. They kind of get a little played out to me, almost like the Dubai chocolate. Y'all, I'm over Dubai chocolate. Can we 86 Dubai chocolate? Can we be done with that? Is that still a thing? Let me know if y'all are still a fan of Dubai chocolate. But I have never had a freeze-dried cake pop, so it's going to be interesting to see like what the texture and what the taste is going to be like. Y'all, look at the cake pops. Thank you. Yes, another look at the treats right there. All right, friends. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. Eek. Y'all, you know I gotta get a few pictures for the gram. Hold, please. All right, Heffas, our liquid nitrogen mini cake pop. Let's see what she is going to be given. Okay, Minnie, don't make me have to cut you today. Oh, cotton candy flavor, right? You know, it's good. It tastes like cotton candy. Actually, y'all, what I feel like is that this tastes like a combination of cotton candy and blueberry. This is good, and look at the inside. And y'all, I was initially afraid that it was going to be some weird texture. This just tastes like a regular cake pop. I don't know where the liquid nitrogen part kicks in on it. But yeah, this is solid, y'all. I probably would give this 3 out of 5 Heffas. This is good. The cake is moist, good flavor. Like I said, I feel like it has more blueberry than cotton candy, but you definitely taste both. Like, I'm shocked. I didn't think that I was gonna like this at all. And the coating, and kind of like icing or frosting around it, it's good. And I don't feel like this tastes overly sweet, but something like this, admittedly, y'all, now I kind of wish I had a hot cup of tea or coffee just to have with this, but yeah, don't miss out on this one. She's a delight. Okay, Minnie. Look at you not disappointing us, girl, bringing us all the cuteness and flavor. Yes, so we gotta... You know, as I keep eating it, so the like little decor, so the bow, white chocolate, icing, but the base is white chocolate. Yeah, yo, that, can you tell? I don't know why I'm so surprised, but always feel like with things like that, it's like more style than substance. No, she got both. Not mad at you, Minnie. And as we're walking around, we're actually headed toward the Mexico Pavilion. Of course, some interesting art that I want to show you all. Look at that. Walt's just conducting that little train. And then we have Orangebird. Y'all know Orangebird is my favorite mascot. Orangebird and I roll deep. We've been BFF for a long time now. Yeah, these pictures are so good. And again, like the canvas art is really nice, and they give you all idea of the pricing. So like for the Orangebird, for example, that's $150. And like I said, they have some flat prints. So they have different works of art that are all at various price points. But this is so pretty. And again, drop down in the comments, let me know if there has been any art that you have seen that you like. Y'all, this is sometimes how I feel in the mornings. Better yet, this is sometimes how I feel after a meeting at work. I'm like Corella, okay? Give me my car. Let me hit a few Heffas. Yes, and shout out to Max dressed as Powerline. Oh, y'all, one of the best Disney soundtracks, a Goofy movie. And here's a few more friends. Of course, Figment. And we have Mickey as kind of like that canyon shape going around Big Thunder. And then y'all, I love this picture. And typically this is not my color palette, but there's something just really fun about this one. Yeah, the color schemes, this is very Florida, y'all. And of course, the artist, I was just looking, Eric Doggett, he's a local artist. And I'm like, yeah, this is definitely giving me Florida vibes, but these are really nice. Heffas, y'all know that Max dressed as Powerline. Guess how much that picture costs. I'll give you a moment. Baby, she is 6 racks. Damn! But at least it's like, it's the frame and everything. And also it's the original. So anytime you purchase original arts that aren't prints, it's gonna cost you, and on top of that, that it's framed. So that just shows you the variations in some of the prices. You may be able to find some canvas art for $150, or art that's just the print for like $50, $60. Or if you really want to tap into your bougie bag, and if there's an original that you just absolutely love with the frame, and I know y'all are like, Heffa's not in this economy, and I feel you on that. I feel you on that. That kind of art is for like the Disney purist that also got some coin. But y'all, that's okay. We're gonna take ourselves back down to earth and stick with the rivers and lakes that we're used to by checking out the food that they have over at Fictional Victuals. And they have some interesting treats here. Now, my co-producer really wanted to try this tea treat, which is like the Twinings Earl Grey Chocolate Pot de Creme, Limon, Madeleine, rose and raspberry jam, and a tea biscuit crumble. Now, I usually would be so into that because you all know I love me some tea, but I am actually feeling a little full right now. They also have these Impossible Bites, and as well as some grilled beach oysters. Like, all of that sound really good. But what my co-producer is gonna get, and I'm just gonna take a sip, y'all, because as I said, I am actually feeling a little full right now, is this upside down shake. So that is a yellow cake soft serve shake with Twinings breakfast tea. So that hopefully should be good. Again, she's just gonna take a sip because I'm like, I need to do a lap around World Showcase and work off some of the fullness that I'm feeling right now. So I'm just gonna take a little sip, let you all know how it goes, and then get my walk on, because Lord knows, it's like once you start taking bites of everything, it is amazing how all that like catches up and you just feel like you have a brick in your stomach. So she's going to take a little bit of a break. And Heffas, I can already tell you that I get why this food stall is named the way it's named. Check out the look of our upside down shake here, pineapple upside down shake. And it just looks so pretty. You have all the sprinkles at the top You have that cake over with a little icing at the side. What is the name of that place that has like the cakes and the milkshake?
Blacktop?
Yes, y'all, if you are a fan of Blacktop, let me know. This is giving me Blacktop vibes just from the visual, like a little mini Blacktop shake. But let's go ahead and take a sip. And again, cheers, because you know we always got to do it. I don't know. Y'all, that I don't think it's for me. I don't really taste tea. Y'all, so it just tastes like watery icing. Like it tastes like icing with a lot of air or something. That's a little funky. I don't recommend that at all. I'm probably gonna give that 1 out of 5 Heffas, and it's sweet, but I don't really taste the tea. So I am not feeling that. I would say this particular tree is a pass.
And now, please welcome the stars of Disney on Broadway's Aida and The Lion King, Mandy Gonzalez and Kissy Simmons.
Friends, we are heading over to the Connection shop. It is getting a bit too cold. Y'all, I'm just like, listen, Heffas, I am ready to get my hot tea at home, my heated blanket, and watch me some Murder, She Wrote. It's like, that's how you know. That is how you know you're a person of a certain age. But let me also tell you all, pro tip, don't ever try to have a productive day and think you're going to be productive and have a heated blanket on. It's just not going to happen, Heffas. I have made this mistake where, let's just say I start cleaning up something at home and I'm like, I'm just going to take a break. Let me just get under this heated blanket for 2 seconds and it's done. Donezo. So don't ever play yourself, okay? Do you hear what I'm saying? If you want to be productive, whatever you do, avoid your heated blanket at all costs. Oh, and y'all, look at the outside of Spaceship Earth. It's so pretty with the greens and the blues. And we are going to go ahead and make our way over to the Creation Shop and check out the merch for the Festival of the Arts. Let's go in and see what we can find, Heffas. Now, if you missed my walk and talk Wednesday, this is from like a couple weeks back, y'all. I showed a lot of the merch, but let's actually get some dedicated footage, shall we? Now, here we have some Figment mugs right here. These are very cute. And I like the handle. So like, take an up close look at this. I just love the art style. And you know, I love my boy Figment, even though they did him dirty with Journey to Imagination. But y'all, this is gonna run you basically $25 here. But let's check out the other side. Turn this around. And then what you can see the full artwork all the way around. So I love that this is just like, it's all about Figment, right? So it's super cute. And then they also have the Figment bags here. And I've noticed that they are starting to do a lot more of their bags that are this circular shape, which is really cool because this could be worn as both a backpack or a shoulder bag. So that's really nice. And again, we have our boy Figment right here. And if I'm not mistaken, y'all, I think this one's gonna run you, I think it's $85, y'all. See, I know my bags. I know my Disney merch. But here's the back, and you see the straps here. So again, I love the gold touches. That's really nice. I really love the straps on this. I love the color scheme. And of course, you have the Loungefly label right there. But yeah, this is really pretty. All right, y'all, and here is the Festival of the Arts Spirit tee. And again, I love the color scheme this year. And we have our boy Figment featured here on the back. And this is gonna run you $80, which is the typical price for the Spirit tees. And this is the back, y'all. And then the front, let's turn this around. You see Figment here on the corner, very cute. And y'all, I haven't actually purchased any Festival of the Arts merch because I'm curious. Sometimes if you catch this at the right time, like toward the end of the festival, sometimes they'll discount some of the merch they have depending on how much of it. So if there's like an overstock, sometimes you can get some of this stuff discounted. And let's look at the tumblers here. And these are Corkle tumblers. And again, these look so cute. And let's see how much. So Heffas, this is gonna run you $45 essentially. But Corkle is also a really good brand and quite popular here in the parks. I feel like I see a lot of, you know, if not Starbucks, then Corkle, but super cute. And then we have your Festival of the Arts Figment ornament. And this is gonna run you $27. And there's nothing on the back, just this Festival of the Arts. And if you're like, girl, I do not want that long sleeve, they also for $35 have the Festival of the Art t-shirts, and this is the front. And then the back looks like this. So again, Figment, I really like the t-shirt, y'all. This is just, like, I really like the design this year. And then similarly, you have your, you know, standard baseball cap here, and it's Figment wrapped around Spaceship Earth. And then, of course, on the side, it says Festival of the Arts. And Heffas, the cap is going to run you $30. And then we're going to cover the last couple items. You have for $17 the picture frame here. That's really cute, especially if you are here and you're taking like a nice little photo around Festival of the Arts. I think this is like a great way to commemorate that. The only thing is, like, with the picture being this tiny, I mean, I know that you can, you know, 2x3 is pretty standard, but yeah, if you have like a little shelf, a little desk. And then they also have a journal over here, Heffas, that looks like it comes with a pen. And these journals are gonna run you $25, and then the back just says Festival of the Arts. Last and certainly not least, shout out to my fellow pass holders out there. They do have a pass holder shirt over in the pass holder section. This is the front of the shirt, so that very simple pass holder design. And then the back, you see here with Figment and all of his artistic glory. And y'all, the pass holder shirts are $37. So the same cost as the other short sleeve shirt. So Heffas, drop down in the comments, tell me, what do you think of the merch? Is there anything that you thought was interesting? Is there something that you were like, I cannot believe Disney is charging those prices? Because sometimes, y'all, Disney could be a little extra with what they are charging. Now, this has nothing to do with Festival of the Arts, but a tumbler I have had my eye on for a minute, but your girl really does not need another tumbler. But this is one that I thought looked very interesting. It's a Starbucks tumbler, y'all. I need to just stop. I need to stop. Every time I keep telling myself I'm not going to do it. And I do have some tumblers I want to try to sell because, again, I have a lot of them. But this one goes along the theme of the park days and lattes. And I don't know what it is about this tumbler that I really like. Ooh, and they actually have a cup they did not have before. So let me show y'all this. What do y'all think? Am I going crazy? So this is not the tumbler, but it's in the same like art style. And I just love like the old school Mickey and Minnie print. But this is like a stainless steel Starbucks Disney tumbler. This is cute, but this is not, y'all, what I am interested in. I'm actually interested in this one that's next to it. And again, it says park days and lattes. And this is just like the perfect spring, summer tumbler, I feel like, for your Disney days. And the material feels like soft. It's like a silicone material on the outside. And I like the fact that it's slender, so it'll fit in most cup holders. And then here's the top right here. And y'all, this tumbler, and of course you have the Starbucks logo on the back. And I just love greens and browns. Like, there's nothing more spring and summer than that. And then here's the top, just to give you kind of up close look at the lid. But this is gonna run you basically $45. And these stainless steel tumblers are going to be $50. Now, this is different. They did not have this the last time I was here, so this is fairly new. Y'all, I love this, but it's like the basically cup version, and this feels like ceramic. I don't know if you can hear that right there, but yes, look, it has our park favorite Disney park characters on the front of it. Park days and lattes as a mug. And again, at the bottom, it's like a silicone material. And this is gonna run you $30, y'all. I love this. And then here's the lid and what that looks like. So let me see if it has, I'm just gonna pop this lid off, y'all, and see if there's a way to turn it to actually, I think there is a way. Yep, y'all, so you can actually like close this up so that way the top doesn't have to be open, which is good. And I don't know, and it has like this rubber, of course, around it. So I think like if you're just like walking around with it, it'll be okay. But of course, I think with anything like this, you have to be careful with the spills. It's not going to be as like spill resistant as something like this, but still cute. I really like this. What do y'all think? Heffas, we have left the merch. Y'all, she got her tumbler. I'm so excited. And if you have been following my travels and my adventures, you know I love taking these, especially if I am taking a trip somewhere. And y'all, you'll hear the fireworks going off in the background here. But if I'm taking a trip, and also for the parks, like something like this that is thin will fit in your backpack, and I think even the like small Loungefly backpacks as well. So this is perfect, y'all. I love things like this. And so this is like a pro tip. If you're coming out to Disney, if you love your hot drinks to stay hot, get yourself a nice little tumbler just to take with you to keep your liquids hot or keep your liquids cold. So that way, especially when you're in cooler weather like this, it makes it for a much more enjoyable experience. So Heffas, let me know, what did you like about this experience? What was something that surprised you, or what was something that you were just like, that ain't it? I'm really curious. And of the food that I tried, did you see something at one of the stalls that you would have liked? I'm really curious. So engage with your girl in the comments. And y'all, you know I love my ancestors. It is Black History Month. So you know, Heffa Nation, you gotta come through. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. And with that being said, Heffas, I hope you enjoyed this little jaunt through Festival of the Arts. I'll catch you on the next caffeinated journey. See ya. Have a good one.